Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from around the world. My name is Trader Alan. My website here, wallstreeteasystreet.com. I created this website because I visit several forums, and a lot of times you get asked the same questions over and over again. And where do people go that want to really learn how to trade forex properly and profitably? So I decided to create my own web page, make it a little bit easier for me to discuss my trading ideas. What I wanted to go over here today is how I go about my trades, and a couple of them that I had today, and how I determined to enter the trade and exit the trade. So this is my home page here. If you come up here and click on my trading day, alright, you can see here I've had 122 pips I've made for the month of April so far, and I've currently had 17 trades, and I've had no losers out of the 17. So not too bad so far. No drawdown to speak of. That's always a good thing. So I want to go over with you how I make these kind of results like this. So let's go to a chart here, NinjaTrader chart. Alright, this is the first trade that I had this morning, and what I'm looking at here is you've got a pretty tight range here. So typically I want to target 10 pips. That's what my goal is, to try to get 10 pips out of each trade. You can't always do that. You've got to take a look at the market and where it's been and how it's swinging, and determine what is the best odds you can get. So if I come up here and I start measuring some of these swings, from where I would likely get in at, say top to bottom here, from here to here, that's only 5 pips. Let's take another one. It's a pretty good one here. Say I decided to get in here around the top for whatever reason. Probably get out here. You got to always allow for spread. If you try to count down here, it'll never work because spread's going to get you. So I'd probably get there. That's 8 pips. And let's say I got this here, which would have been a not too bad of a trade. Let's measure that one and see what we would have got. Alright, so say I got filled in maybe around this area. If I was lucky to get out here around the top, probably about there. It's 5 pips. So any of these, if you measure them out, you can see that we're not getting 10 pip moves currently in the market. So for me to expect a 10 pip move is pretty low odds. So moving over here to the right side of the chart, you can see here this is a block break entry that I have marked out, and I want to enter on a break of this block. So I did enter here. This was a live trade, and I have to look at how am I going to manage the trade. I can see already from the past, from here, 5 pips, 8 pips, 5 pips. The likelihood of me getting 10 pips at the current market conditions is probably pretty low. So when I pick my strategy, I use automated trading as much as possible for my stops and my profit targets. I'm automatically going to go and take the my take 6 ATM. So I'm going to try to get 6 pips out of it, and I've got a pretty good chance of success, being that puts me in the range of these other swings. So I entered the market and it come down and did pretty good. Stopped me out here to my profit target of 6 pips. That's what I wanted. Now, do I care if it's going to go lower from there? I don't care at all. The odds of it moving lower is not very good at the moment, so I want to take the high odd trade and get out with my 6 pips, and I'm happy. At this point, I'm going to continue on looking for my next trade setup. Okay, I had another block break here, and what I was looking for here is I was looking for the trade to go break out of the block. I can expect a pullback, that's pretty reasonable, and then expect it to take off again. because I'm scalping and I'm trading momentum, I want to see the momentum going in my direction. So once it fails to go in my direction and the momentum is not taking off like I like, at that point, which is roughly around this candle bar right here, the trade entry is no longer valid. My block break is no longer a valid trade. So now I'm looking for damage control. I want to exit the trade with either a break even, losing as little money as possible, or if I can get one or two ticks out of it, then that's great. But the odds of me getting the my total 10 pips on this trade here is pretty slim, and we know that because, as you can see here, my expectation was the market was going to move higher, and at this point it continued here lower. So from that point here, I'm now looking to exit the trade with doing as little damage to my account as possible. I'm no longer looking for a stop. My stop currently was right here, my protective stop. It actually came down and kind of teeter-tottered right here on my stop, but didn't get filled, which is a good thing. It went back up. So at this point, I'm now looking to get out. So again, I got in here, went ahead and exited here because the trade is no longer valid, and it closed out basically break even. There was 1 pip there, but I consider that a break even trade, and I'm happy. Now I'm off looking for the next trade setup, which I missed because I was in the process of getting set up for this video. My next trade setup would have been right here. You're looking for a range break, and come over here, mark this whole range. Okay, at this point I would have been wanting to go short right here at this point. But as you can see, closing the trade out here worked out really well. It did continue up here a couple of pips. Am I concerned about losing those? Not at all. Got out the trade on break even. I'm looking for the next valid trade setup. And in doing so, in trading this way, that allows me to get results like this, where I end up making several hundred pips per month, and I have really next to no drawdown. If you look at some of my other months here, you can look. This was for March. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing trades out of, looks like around 44, 45. I don't remember exactly. For a total of 328 pips. So really, it's all about you managing your money properly, knowing when the trade is valid and when the trade is not valid. And when it's no longer valid, which was this point here, it's all about protecting your account. Where can you get out at with the least amount of damage? And then going on and looking for the next trade setup. Okay, this is my chart page of my web page. If you want, you can come here and see exactly how I set my charts up, how I create my ATMs right here, and various charts of live trades. All these are live trades. I don't show anything fake. So if you're interested, you can come there and check out and see some more information about my live trades. So if you want to get this type of profits with very little drawdown, you've got to control your losses. You've got to know when to get out. All right, feel free to come here and check out my webpage anytime you have some free time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and good trading to everybody.